Go.
Hi, I'm Corey Mashburn. I am the Career and Technical Education Counselor for Roane County Schools, and I'm here with you today to read a story. One of my favorites that my two girls love to hear are Frog and Toad Are Friends by Arnold Lobel. There's a few stories in here, about 5 different stories. I'm going to read you 2 stories today and they're short. But I'm going to read you first. I'm going to read you the one called Spring. All right. So here we go. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the door. There was no answer. Toad, Toad, shouted Frog. Wake up, it is spring. Blah, said a voice from inside the house. Toad, Toad, cried Frog. The sun is shining. The snow is melting. Wake up. I'm not here, said the voice. Frog walked into the house. It was dark. All the shutters were closed. Toad, where are you? Called Frog. Go away, said the voice from a corner of the room. Toad was lying in bed. He had pulled all the covers over his head. Frog pushed Toad out of bed. He pushed him out of the house and onto the front porch. Toad blinked in the bright sun. Help, said Toad. I cannot see anything. Don't be silly, said Frog. What you see is the clear, warm light of April. And it means that we can begin a whole new year together, Toad. Think of it, said Frog. We will skip through the meadows and run through the woods and swim through the river. In the evenings, we will sit right here on this front porch and count the stars. You can count them, Frog, said Toad. I'll be too tired. I'm going back to bed. Toad went back into the house and he got into the bed and pulled the covers over his head again. But Toad, cried Frog, you'll miss all the fun. Listen, Frog, said Toad. How long have I been asleep? You've been asleep since November, said Frog. Well then, said Toad, a little more sleep will not hurt me. Come back again and wake me up at about 1/2 May. Good night, Frog. But Toad, said Frog, I'll be lonely until then. Toad did not answer. He had fallen asleep. Frog looked at Toad's calendar. The November page was still on top. Frog tore off the November page. He tore off the December page, and the January page, the February page, and the March page. He came to the April page. Frog tore off the April page too. Sorry about this. Then Frog ran back to Toad's bed. Toad, Toad, wake up. It is May now. What? Said Toad. Can it be May so soon? Yes, said Frog. Look at your calendar. Toad looked at the calendar. The May page was on top. Why, it is May, said Toad, and he climbed out of bed. Then he and Frog ran outside to see how the world was looking in the spring. And that's the end of spring. All right. Next one I'm going to read is called A Swim. Toad and Frog went down to the river. What a day for a swim, said Frog. Yes, said Toad. I will go behind these rocks and put on my bathing suit. I don't wear a bathing suit, said Frog. Well, I do, said Toad. After I put on my bathing suit, you must not look at me until I get into the water. Why not? Asked Frog. Because I look funny in my bathing suit. That is why, said Toad. So Frog closed his eyes, and when Toad came out from behind the rocks, Toad was wearing his bathing suit. Don't peek, he said. Frog and Toad jumped into the water. They swam all afternoon. Frog swam fast and made big splashes. Toad swam slowly and made smaller splashes. A turtle came along the riverbank. Frog, tell that turtle to go away, said Toad. I do not want him to see me in my bathing suit when I come out of the river. And Frog swam over to the turtle. Turtle, said Frog, you'll have to go away. Well, why should I? Asked the turtle. Because Toad thinks that he looks funny in his bathing suit and he does not want you to see him, said Frog. Some lizards were sitting nearby. Does Toad really look funny in his bathing suit? They asked. A snake crawled out of the grass. If Toad looks funny in his bathing suit, said the snake, then I, for one, want to see him. We want to see him too, said 2 dragonflies. Me too, said a field mouse. I've not seen anything funny in a long time. Frog swam back to Toad. I'm sorry, Toad, he said. Everyone wants to see how you will look. Then I will stay right here until they go away, said Toad. The turtle and the lizards and the snake and the dragonflies and the field mouse all sat on the riverbank, and they waited for Toad to come out of the water. Please, cried Frog, please go away. But no one went away. Toad was getting colder and colder. He was beginning to shiver and sneeze. I will have to come out of the water, said Toad. I'm catching a cold. Toad climbed out of the river. The water dripped off of his bathing suit and down onto his feet. The turtle laughed, the lizard laughed, the snake laughed, the field mouse laughed, and Frog laughed. What are you laughing at, Frog? Said Toad. I'm laughing at you, Toad, said Frog, because you do look funny in your bathing suit. Of course I do, said Toad. Then he picked up his clothes and went home. And that's the end. Thanks.